Hey everybody, we're down here at the Next1 Arena for more Starcraft. It's going to be the SBENU SSL Season 3. We got the challenge matches here. I am Valdez. With me today is Moonglade. How are you doing, man?
Fantastic, Valdez. It's so good to be back here, man. Excited for another day of Star League. Got to do a little bit of GSL yesterday. That was a bit of fun, but you know, we got the same thing over here. We got a lot of really big matches, a lot of great players.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Starting with San versus Zest.
Yeah, man.
This should be a pretty fun one. I'm favoring Zest. What are you laughing for?
I can't stop thinking about that picture, man.
That picture's fine, man. No, it was good. It was my good side as well.
Oh, but, yeah, it is. But best side I've ever seen. Oh, man.
You'd be surprised how ugly I can make my face.
I'm looking forward to more pictures similar to that one.
We'll be practicing a little bit. But
yeah. Go ahead and check out Twitter, guys. We put up a very fantastic photo of the two of us.
Yeah, you know.
It's quite nice.
No, it's a very glamorous sort of shot. Kind of building the hype for tonight as well, you know.
Of course, yeah.
Getting you guys into it as well.
You can see the energy on our faces, too.
Yeah.
You can tell we really want this.
Well, we kind of like loosen our faces up doing these faces as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For you guys who are not aware, the challenge matches here are going to be best of 5s. First to 3 wins will move on to the round of 16, and then you go into that dual tournament format. And here are the seeds, of course. Once again, Marlife, Biel, and Zest from Star League, Rogue from Pro League. Tudming dropping out because of MERS and other stuff.
Well, was there other stuff? I think he might have been afraid, Valdez, because the MERS outbreak is kind of stopped at this point.
Yeah, so afraid of MERS and maybe afraid of the rain.
Yeah, I think more the rain. But either way, it's a shame to see him go. We'd have loved to see him come over here and play. Thankfully, Snoot will be playing. He'll be playing tomorrow. And that should be very interesting. I can't wait to see those games. Snoot, one of the best foreigners by far. And here's a look at the matches so far and who's made it through.
Yeah, top 6 up there are from last week, Thursday and Friday. Myungshik, Deer, Maru, Rogue, Biel, SOS have all made it through to the round of 16. And then for tonight, we have matches 7, 8, and 9. And of course, 10, 11, and 12 will be tomorrow. So if you want to catch Snoot playing, you'll have to tune in tomorrow.
Snoot versus Innovation, that's a lot of fun. That even a live versus live, that's pretty cool. Kind of funny their names mean similar things.
Yeah, good luck with that one tomorrow, guys. Zest versus San to start the night, as we said before. Then we go into a ZVZ Dark versus Hyun. Should be an interesting one. Then we got TY versus Trap to end the night.
Pretty close matches. I have to say Zest versus San. Zest by far the most favored out of all these 6 players to get through. San not really showing too much recently. He went down to a third player, Sue. He got slapped by Sue in the Casper Cup. Yeah. Very, very underwhelming games. It was actually quite disappointing. Hopefully he can bring better PvP tonight, though.
Yeah, hopefully. And Dark versus Hyun. Hyun was able to 3-0 Losira in last SSL Challenger, by the way. Making his ZVZ look incredibly strong, but Dark, I feel like, is on a different level. I think he should be able to take this one.
Yeah, Dark's the guy that can, like, take down Life. He can take down Biel. He's
Maru
right at the top there. He can take down Maru if he needs. Certainly the favorite in that one. And then we got TY versus Trap. TY going down only yesterday in the GSL, losing to Losira in a 5-game series. And Trap, he's kind of he's a bit of a, I guess, more of a hidden player. He's a fantastic player, but we don't get to see him too much.
The Shy Protoss.
The Shy Boy Protoss.
Best nickname ever.
I like that. It makes a lot of sense when it comes to Trap. I think Trap might actually come ahead of TY in this one.
Yeah, I think that one should be the closest of the night, actually.
Yeah.
But I would favor Trap as well.
Can't wait to get into these as well, Valdez. And here's the most handsome Protoss player in the world.
Yeah,
Zest.
blow into those earphones. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The chisel toss. Look at those arms. They're actually getting bigger. That actually isn't even okay anymore.
They are actually getting bigger. You can tell. This guy is hitting the gym, man. You're falling behind me, Wade.
Hey, man.
You got that back injury.
Got that back.
It's going to be okay. You'll be back in the gym.
I'll be back soon, man. I'll be getting bigger. It's going to be a race to the top. And there's San. San, unfortunately, as we said earlier, going down in the Casper Cup pretty horribly. For the SSL, though, he got in off the backs of defeating Pion twice, defeating Sky High and Blast. Haven't really seen him in a PvP in a while, actually.
Yeah, and when he hit like one of those top tier players in Innovation, he got O2'd. So, you know, I would definitely put Zest up there with the likes of Innovation at this point in time, even though it is a different matchup, of course. But I don't know, especially after those games against Sue, I just don't see it from San. He looked incredibly...
I kind of lack faith.
Like, he almost just, like, fell over. Yeah. It's like a paper in the wind. He just, like, flopped over and just, like, flew away.
Paper in the wind. I like that. Yeah, it's hard to say where his mindset was that time. He also felt like he was getting very frustrated in those games, like, and it tilted him incredibly. So maybe that's something we've got to look at with Sandy. He's more of one of these emotional players that actually can fall apart and get a little too angry if games don't go his way.
Yeah, which is funny because you don't usually see that on San's face.
Yeah.
But getting into the map pool here, we are going to have Bonnie Research Station banned by Zest and Coda banned by San. Then we're going to go into Cactus Valley, Iron Fortress, Echo, Deadwing, and Expedition Lost.
Yeah, pretty straight up map pool there. Iron Fortress, always an exciting map, I feel, for PvP, because it is a lot harder to keep that third base and a very open map as well. So the rules kind of change on that one compared to most of the other maps.
And it's hard to make a map that can actually change the rules of PvP.
Yeah, right.
PvP usually a pretty passive matchup if you get to the mid game, but let's see what these two players have prepared. If anyone's going to try to start it off very early, San already getting those arms crossed. Not looking too happy.
That's never a good sign when you have the body language like that. He's waiting for it to happen. He's kicking hard. Zest looking fine, looking fantastic as always. Let's see what they can get to do. See what they can do. Getting started on Cactus Valley.
Zest once again complaining about the lights. He's always a big fan of getting in the dark booth and not having a distract display. I mean, fair enough, it's important.
The lights shine just a bit brighter when such a handsome star walks underneath them.
Just waiting to get this first map started of the night. Cactus Valley, a very big map. Let's see if this could go to a very passive PvP. If this one could take a bit longer.
That's right. That will most definitely favor Zest, as he loves that late game PvP. He loves his tempo. So if he gets a chance to go there, I think the game will be much more favored in his way as well.
I think we should be starting in just a moment here. Maybe Zest gaining a bit of that, I don't know, that flash mentality, how everything has to be very perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, I actually think it might have been our light shining in his booth.
Yep. That's what it was.
That's pretty
I didn't want to say it, but it was our light causing the
We
issues.
did it, Valdez. We've ruined the show once again.
They like turned down the light and he's like, can you guys just turn it off? And they're like, oh, okay.
Like,
all right.
Well, it's not going back to us anytime soon, so might as well. I saw him look up at us, Valdez.
Yeah. This is so funny, actually.
Next time he looks up, I'm going to wave at him.
Well, you know, this kid killed Zest. It also doesn't seem like San is too happy at the same time. He's like, can we please get these games started?
Yeah, he's looking a bit nervous.
Yeah. I'd be nervous, man, going into the best of 5 PvP versus Zest.
Yeah, it's probably like the last player you want to play right now, especially after going down recently in another best of 5. Might want a little bit of an easier match, but you know, these players that are coming in.
Well, let's jump into the game, guys, right now. Jumping into it. Let's do it. Up here in the top right, in the blue, the Chisel Toss himself, it is Zest from KT Rollster. We've turned off that light for him now.
We have indeed. Down here in the bottom right, the challenger, San. Let's hope his PvP is looking a bit stronger than his PvZ.
Yeah. Those are some, I don't know. Those games, those are the kind of games that I kind of just want to forget. You know what I mean? They happen, like Sue made it through, but it's all okay.
Yeah, they certainly were a bit of a disappointing series. Everything kind of just went wrong. So, yeah. We'll see what happens this time around there. PvP. Maybe he's been focusing a little bit more on the Star League, less about the Kessler Cup. Star League goes for a lot longer, a lot more prestige than the Kessler Cup, as well as the fact that Kessler Cup is using that that new map pool from the ladder. Pretty controversial map pool as well. And not many people have had good amounts of practice on it either.
Yeah. I mean, even in the interviews, the players that won, they were like, I didn't even have any time to practice on those maps. I was busy practicing for something else, or I had one day to practice for this, and
that's right.
It just like wasn't enough time. So I just played aggressive, and it worked out because I was the better player. That's that was what the majority of the interviews were like, in fact.
Yeah, especially from like the SK players or the Jin Air. Obviously, the ones that had to play on Saturday for the Pro League Grand Finals of Round 3 had no chance at all to practice this ladder map pool. And I don't think they really will intend to after Kessler Cup either, because I don't think most of those maps are going to be in any other tournament.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about this big map here for San? I was thinking out of the two of them, probably San would be the one to try to take those tricky victories, you know, try to proxy something, but this map doesn't seem too good. I mean, it's 4 spawns.
Yeah.
It's gigantic, so I feel like this map pool so far definitely favoring Zest.
It definitely puts you into that macro sort of game, right? Like, it's so hard to kind of be aggressive, especially in the natural anytime soon. I think it will much easier go to a third base, and we'd see more of a macro game behind it, which it certainly favors Zest, because, you know, he loves to go for that late game PvP style. He likes to make that composition with the Sky Toss, with those Tempests, and those Colossus Death Balls.
Colossus.
That's how you say it, right, Valdez? How we do it here. Both players scouting each other as well.
Very late Mothership Core from San, in fact. Looking to use that gas in a different way. Able to squeeze out one extra probe, actually, a bit earlier. Small advantage. Oh! Boy teaching his girlfriend about Starcraft.
Great place to bring your girl. You know, great dating location is the next arena.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it.
Doing Flash's work.
Doing Flash's work. I like that. Both going to Twilight. Yeah, Mothership Core kiss.
They didn't even kiss, man. They just looked at each other and just like floated on by. The blue one got kind of shy and just ran away. He's like, no, actually, I don't want to scout you. Everyone's like,
oh my goodness. Never mind. I thought San actually blocked his Stalker, but he's just acting weird. Yeah, look at this.
Stalkers can do that from time to time.
Corona boosting out the Blink. Both. They've essentially gone for the exact same build. 3-gate, Blink Stalker Rush.
Yeah. The only difference is that San was able to squeeze out an extra drone, so I suppose good for him.
Yeah, it's always interesting if you can get a drone out as a Protoss player as well.
Yeah, that would be really crazy, actually. Glad you point that out, you know?
No, it's fine.
You're fine.
You're fine. Everything's good. Everything's fantastic. And look at this. 3 Stalkers. It looks like Zest is just going to be defensive from here. You know, he's not going to push the issue too much. And it actually might come back to bite him, because we're seeing a very early Nexus from San.
Yeah, and it's going to be a while before Zest can get that scout off. Zest is going to warp in 3 more Stalkers at a pylon here behind the rocks and possibly try to go aggressive here. San's just sitting on 5 Stalkers for now.
Yeah, 6 of them coming in, and it's really going to be about Zest wants to fully commit to this and try and just DPS it down before that Nexus finishes, because if the Nexus finishes and it's healthy enough, a photon overcharge is going to make things impossible.
Blink is going to finish up 2 seconds before for San, but neither player are going to take advantage of that, it seems right now. San may want to push the issue because he's not sure if Zest is not free. I'm sure he can assume because of how many Stalkers have been made.
Yeah, well, there we go. A bit of a Stalker advantage now for Zest by 1.
Yeah, and he's got the better concave here. Son coming down a ramp. And here we go. The Blink Micro begins. Looking a bit better so far for Zest, but the Mothership Core getting involved. Time Warp's going to come down on the majority of Zest Stalkers.
Oh, this is a tricky one. I think Zest might have the lead there. Warping in more as well with that very close by pylon. Another big thing to note is that Mothership Core went down as the Nexus finished. I don't think it had enough energy for a photon overcharge either.
Yeah, very, very close fight here, in fact. 4-4. It looks like Zest.
Oh, wow.
Just going to even it up towards the end. It looks like Son was able to get 1 extra warp in, but Zest does have an extra warp in of 3 Stalkers if he wants to go for it. There we go. Also, Mothership Core coming across the map, whereas Son doesn't have his.
Maybe he wants to wait for it as well. He's not going to be able to do too much besides the time warp, which is going to help out a bit, especially if that Zealot gets in there. He might want to just focus down that Nexus so he can play from an even playing field.
Yeah, I would assume so. Waiting for some extra warp-ins here. One other extra thing you may have noticed is that Son doesn't have a pylon here in the low ground, so those warp-ins are slightly farther back.
Yeah, that's a good thing to note, actually. Ooh, wasting that blink, taking some real damage.
Son right now foregoing that Mothership Core, not going to remake it for now. Needs those extra Stalkers just to defend here.
Constantly pressured here. Oh, probe.
I like what you're saying. Try to get a position back here behind the Nexus. Try to poke it down. Force Son into a bad position.
Oh, it's just going to go down. No fight. Now there's kind of no point for Son to fight this. Now he's trying to get up the ramp. Awkward situation. From here, Zest perhaps should just go for that Nexus.
Yeah, he definitely could. It's going to take so long for Son to get all the way across the map. But at the same time, it's a bit of a risk if Zest does go for that Nexus. You know, Son may have an advantage here in warp-ins, but at the same time, he's not really going to know. I like this.
Oh, look at that. That's huge.
This Mothership Core may even be forced to recall against Blink Stalkers. Well, Zest has noticed this, and he's just going to go back and defend.
Yeah, I actually think he's going to recall back now with his Mothership Core. Very smart play. If he can actually jump on top of these Stalkers, that would also be huge. Son buying a lot of space. Very smart play there, and I think we're just going to resume into taking that natural and playing a macro game from here. Both players on essentially equal supply and Army.
Pretty crazy start to this game, in fact. Zest definitely does have the advantage here because he was able to take out that Nexus, and that's a lot of minerals wasted here. At the same time, Zest looks like not wanting to go for a Nexus just yet.
That is interesting. Maybe just simply going to go into an all-in from here. If he adds an Immortal too, like it's going to be a lot easier to fight just pure Blink Stalker.
Oh yeah. Especially if Son commits to a Nexus and he still does not have a Mothership Core, so there's not going to be any sort of, you know, bad position with the time warps or even a photon overcharge or anything like that.
Yeah, and I mean, if he decides to make one a little bit later, it's just not going to have enough energy for a photon overcharge, which is going to be so important in defending this as well.
Oh boy. Next will come down here from Zest, though.
Well, then maybe just he was making that just to be a little bit more defensive as well. You know, he's like, well, I don't know if he's going to all-in me from here. Maybe. This could be a big problem here. But there is an Observer as well in Son's base. So, adding a little bit of both.
Son still looking to perhaps poke the front. I don't think he'll commit to a big attack, especially once he sees those Immortals. But is it going to at least posture at the front of the base?
I guess he has a couple of force builds as well. But that's just going to be defensive from this. Kind of, whoa, I'm kind of surprised Son is even being aggressive at this point.
I'm not sure why he would try to force this one. He does have 7 extra Stalkers, but even just that 1 Immortal plus the Mothership Core here.
Oh, look at this. Really important force fields from Zest. Wedging that just enough.
Yeah, and Son just warping in more and more Stalkers.
The time is going down as well, too. You know, that Nexus is about to finish. Photon Overcharge will be available. Very hard fight for Son. I don't think he can actually do this. He's about to run out of time.
He's still trying, and there's the Photon Overcharge. Gonna have to blink back. And, yeah, just still committing. He's gonna actually go for this Immortal.
Well, he gets the Immortal. He has a slight lead in Stalkers. But Photon Overcharge and the Mothership Core is going to even it up as well.
Yeah. And now, in fact, Zest has got the advantage here. He's still got the robotics facility. He's going to have another Immortal out here pretty soon. And the Militia, of course, should be on a lot of energy. It's going to have another Photon Overcharge here in a bit. And at the same time, the Concave. It's so much harder for San to just fight straight into this Concave.
You cannot fight into this kind of Concave, but he is completely all in. It's do or die, and I think he's just going to die.
Yep, looks like it here. There's no Nexus from San back at home. He did cancel that, try to go for the big all-in. And at this point, Zest has realized he's got more Stalkers and the big advantage. He's just going to blink on top of San. That should be game number 1 here. Give it to Zest.
There we go.
GG.
GG. Zest with a solid game there. Good reads by him. New robotics facility meant new counter observer from San. Zest had to complete scout the entire game long, do exactly what he had planned, and just play the smart defensive game from there.
Yeah. Very nicely done. What do you think about San trying to go for that all-in, though? You know, he did have that Nexus up faster than Zest, but perhaps he didn't know, he didn't have the information.
Yeah.
Maybe just assumed that Zest had